Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Richard Haynes Real Estate Show. I'm your host here, Richard Haynes of Haynes Real Estate here in the South Bay area of Greater Los Angeles, where we cover Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, and the Palos Verdes Peninsula. And if you heard that right this first time, we are now Haynes Real Estate. The rebrand is complete. Manhattan Pacific Realty no more. We still love that name, but Haynes Real Estate is the new brand. You can see it here on the mic, and we appreciate you guys joining us for this show and the support over the years during the whole rebrand. We've got a great episode for you this time around, another solo episode. We will have a guest on the next episode. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek at the end of who it is. I think it is a must listen to, considering all the things going on in the South Bay and who this person is. You are going to want to hear this one. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this one fast and furious. You've had a lot of one-on-one with me. This is going to be a micro cast, so to speak, for the podcast. I'm going to share with you guys some big data numbers. Inventory. That's all anyone can talk about these days. There are too few homes for sale on the market compared to buyers. I'm going to cover that today. I'm also going to cover some ultra luxury listings. I'm going to put it on your radar. You can look it up on Zillow or Redfin. I know all of you love looking at those ultra luxury, whether you can afford it or not. It's fun to look at these amazing homes, but I'm going to bring them to light, or at least boost them as a topic, because I think it is important to see these type of listings and watch how they perform to truly see the health of the market, because honestly, as the ultra luxury market goes, oftentimes the rest of the market goes as well. And then to wrap up the show, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our guests that we're going to have on next week. So without further ado, topic number one, inventory. You guys, if you aren't a reader of my weekly blog, you missed this one, but if you want to see the numbers laid out clearly, you can check my blog at haynesre.com/blog. Go to the inventory post that we posted last week here in middle September, and you can get the inventory numbers now, but I'm going to put them on you. And starting wide before we get to the city numbers, and I'll rush through the city numbers, but you guys, the topic du jour, so to speak, has been inventory. I want you guys to know ultra high interest rates are crushing demand. I want you guys to know on the previous podcast, affordability is essentially at all-time lows, save for the time right before the Great Recession. Demand is falling because of ultra-high interest rates. Demand is falling because there's an affordability issue. But prices are being supported, and in many cases still going up, because we simply do not have enough homes on the market. I'm going to give you guys a little background on homes for sale wide net. And what do I mean by wide net? I mean by Los Angeles County as a whole on the MLS. I'm going to give you guys 5 years worth of August data. So you guys are going to see it from August 2019 to August of today. And I'm going to rattle off the numbers here for you to understand the amount of listings on the market. August 2019, there were little over 20,000 listings. In 2020, just under 18,000. Then 2021, 14,775. Then we had a small tick up in 2022 to 15,085. And today we have fallen to just above 9,800. So if you look 5 years ago, we had over 20,000 listings on the MLS right before COVID. Today we have under 10,000 listings. So we have seen homes for sale get chopped in half over the last 5 years. And if you look at the hottest time in the market, 2021, And really for a chunk of 2022, even though August 2022 we started to see things slow, you saw listings in August 14,000, 15,000. So you saw a 25% drop in inventory during a crazy time. But we have fallen even further by a third from those times to today, and the market isn't as big of a frenzy as we saw last time around. So over 50% drop from 5 years ago, a 33% drop from just the past couple of years. Inventory is truly constrained, and when you look at inventory historically, it's even lower than, say, when we had the Great Recession and there were all sorts of listings on the market, and there are just too few homes for sale, and that is why prices are being supported. You guys, just to give you an idea of how demand has fallen off, Black Knight, who covers mortgage applications, said that mortgage applications, I believe, dropped to all-time lows, or at least lows not seen since 1996. So almost a 3-decade low of mortgage applications, which is the best model we have for demand. That is a massive drop-off of buyers. And quite frankly, this low inventory is offsetting it, and it blows my mind. So that is what I want you guys to understand with these really significant numbers: supply issues and demand issues. And I want you to know that millennials, per a article I read today, home builders have found that first-time home buyers are making up over 40% of new home builds, when in the past, first-time home buyers were in the 20% range, 25, 26%. First-time home buyers typically are millennials. So you have this massive cohort ready to buy homes, and they are getting crushed by interest rates and affordability. But prices are still going up because a few are still around, and there just are no properties for them to purchase. I'm going to move on to the city information. Palos Verdes Estates, 5 years ago, 98 listings. Today's August, 44 listings. That's about a 50% drop. Manhattan Beach, August 2019, 158 listings. This August, 72, another 50% drop. So you see how these are adding up with the larger data of LA County as well. Rolling Hills Estates inventory, 45 listings in August of 2019. August 2023, just 17 listings. So an even greater drop-off than 50%. Redondo Beach, 185 in 2019 to 103. So not as big of a drop-off, but still very significant in the city of Redondo Beach. Rancho Palos Verdes, 173 listings in August 5 years ago. Today's August, 70. Another greater than 50% drop in inventory. Hermosa Beach, 75 listings 5 years ago. Today, 39 listings. Another about 50% drop. You guys, do you have the idea of how low inventory is? It's low. It's low compared to 5 years ago. It's low compared to the fervor a year or two ago in our real estate markets. And it's low historically, and that's despite demand being at its lowest in almost 30 years and interest rates being at their highest in almost 20 years, both huge headwinds to the market. So really a fascinating market. All we should be talking about is inventory. All we should be talking about is affordability, and all we should be talking about is interest rates and demand destruction. So there you have it on topic number 1. Those are some big numbers. I'll have quarterly numbers for you next month, which I will be very interested to see if prices still climb or if we see pullbacks like we have seen in some of the year-over-year numbers. Moving on to topic number 2, ultra luxury sales. You guys, I'm not going to talk about comps. And comps are the mother's milk of the real estate market because closings, comps are what fuel value. I'm going to talk about listings and actually new listings, some incredible new listings that have hit the market that would be record high prices if they sold. And it's quite bullish to be putting your ultra luxury home on the market despite all the headwinds and all the opportunities people had to list in the last year or two and put their ultra luxury homes on the market at record high prices. It's going to be tough to get, but if they get anywhere near their prices, that's a positive sign for the market. If they don't get it, most of these sellers can afford to hold these properties for a long, long time and sell when it's good, or they could take big discounts in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I've seen record properties take 3, 4, 5 years to sell, and they stay on the market that long. And so these are very important to watch. We're going to start with 2 properties. These were the two properties I was going to cover. And then one came to the market today, a third, which I'll briefly touch on. But one of these is in Manhattan Beach, and the other one is in Palos Verdes Estates. What both of these properties have in common is they're both double lots in prime premier locations. And so these properties are asking record high prices because they're getting grouped with very rare sales where you have 2 lots in incredible locations, but also they're blowing out of the water pricing of people selling just single lots. Normally when you buy in bulk, you get a discount. If you have a lot that sells for $10 million, if you put 2 side by side up, normally you get a discount. Shouldn't maybe sell for $20 million. It should sell for a little bit less. In this case, both of these properties are asking premiums to having it, saying, hey, good luck acquiring 2 properties side by side and creating turnkey move-in ready incredible properties that we have on the market. So let's get to our first one in Manhattan Beach. It's 117 34th Street in Manhattan Beach. You guys, this is prime 100 block Walk Street property in Manhattan Beach. This property has 7 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and is 7,600 whopping square feet, a stone's throw from the beach with a south-facing lot. You've got 2 side-by-side Walk Street lots. The Walk Streets are known for being skinny, only 30 feet wide. Having 2 lots gives you 60 linear feet of Walk Street space, tons of open light to pour into your property as a south-facing property. And this listing, they didn't build just an oversized house. They built a normal house on one lot and then an amazing guest house on the other lot with an incredible pool that also the flooring comes up through the pool and completes a giant patio. So you can have a giant patio to entertain and enjoy laying out by the pristine Pacific Ocean in Manhattan Beach, or you can click a button and the patio collapses and fills up with water. You have to check out the listing on Zillow or Redfin. This place was built in 2018. The details are meticulous, and the technology behind the pool and the patio are rarely seen out of luxury 40 million plus homes across Los Angeles. This property is asking for $37 million. You guys, there was a better located single lot Walk Street property that was built and sold in 2019. Actually, built in 2019, sold right in February 2020 as COVID was coming up. It resold a month or 2 ago for under $13 million. So, and this was a arguably better location, more south, closer to the pier, got $13 million. It probably would have gotten more if it was 100 block like this. But if you estimate that that home slightly closer to the beach would have gotten $15 million, you could go, all right, 2 of these homes side by side could be $30 million. But that's not the case with this 34th Street listing that we're talking about here. They're not asking $30 million. They're asking a premium $37 million. And it would have less square footage, but you're buying the pool and the 2 side-by-side lots turnkey. This is a big price, my friends. Crazy things happen in Manhattan Beach, though. Manhattan Beach has become the luxury destination across LA for its beaches, for its schools, for its safety, and for its lifestyle outside of the city of LA, which has really changed over the years. This $37 million is ambitious. I think the property's a little far north, but I've been surprised before. Ultimately, the true value is probably somewhere 25 to 30 million. But a buyer who's got to have it, I wouldn't blame them if they paid $37 million if they're going to be there forever and are absolutely in love. But this property also could be grinded down, and I respect the listing agent and the seller. You got to ask a premium to break records, but they could end up having to reduce to 35 million, 30 million, or even go, hey, we got to give a little bit of discount to offload 2 lots in a great location, just not as close to the pier as some people want. And it could go for that 20 to 30 million range roughly. But that is one to watch. If it gets anywhere near asking, amazing. If it gets grinded down, so be it. That's probably right. But watch 117 34th Street. Moving on to Palos Verdes Estates, 245 Rocky Point Road. This is on Rocky Point in PVE, Lanada Bay at the very tip. You've got views all the way around, 2 lots, 2 homes, expansive lawn off the back, pool, 12,472 square feet. The 2 lots combined are over 50,000 square feet, you guys. Yes, that's over an acreage atop the beautiful Palos Verdes bluffs. 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and they are coming out asking $35 million for a property that was built back in 2016. You guys, it is so difficult to see these bluff properties come to the market, let alone 2 side by side. I will say $35 million is another whopping number for Palos Verdes Estates. Just a few years ago, pre-COVID, we were seeing Rocky Point bluff properties going for $5, $6, $7 million. Some of them needed work, some of them were turnkey, but they weren't even getting close to $10 million outside of the Toyota house, which was a very special location. The other Rocky Point properties were below $10 million. So if you double that up, is land worth $15 million? Do you pay a premium or less than that for 2 lots? But the fact of the matter is this $35 million properties, they go, we have the 2 best lots on Rocky Point. Good luck getting them together. And oh, by the way, building this home, and let me tell you, this home was built so perfectly. Building this home, the lawn, the pool, everything, considering Coastal Commission, Palos Verdes Estates, art jury. It's a 4, 5, 6 year project. Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to get this built. You're saving the time, the energy, the stress, the capital, and really the fact that you probably don't have a chance to pick up 2 side-by-side lots. Again, I think you've got to ask for the moon. And if you land on the roof, it's okay. There are really no comps for this one. It is a big number, but someone may pay for it. If they go, I've got another 30 years on this earth, another 40 years, I'm going to buy it. And in 40 years, it'll be worth way more than I paid for. And I walk in and move into a fabulously, perfectly designed home on Rocky Point in Palos Verdes Estates. Again, this is one to watch. If it gets anywhere close to that number, huge news for the ultra luxury market. And if it stays on the market for 1, 2, 3 years, takes multiple price reductions, that's just sometimes how it goes until you find a ready and willing buyer and seller for it. Last but not least, Via Oleadas came out. This has been on and off the market on Lanada Bay. You might see the tip of the Rocky Point Road property from this one. They came out asking $24 million for an 11,000 square foot, 11,000 square foot home on a 35,000 square foot lot. So I think there was some strategery or some strategy on this property going, hey, if someone's going to ask $35 million and catch the eyes of ultra luxury buyers, let's come back out. Oleadas has been on and off the market for years now, trying to be one of the record sales around Lanada Bay. They're going to say, hey, if you like Rocky Point, you can have ours for an $11 million discount. Do you really need 2 properties and all that square footage? So a very strategic move by that seller, and it will be interesting to see how those 2 PVE properties duke it out. You guys, that's our show for today. I'm not going to leave you hanging with who we have next week. Next week, we have Rick Morales on the show from Palos Verdes Engineering. Rick is the OG engineer of the South Bay. His appearance is timely because we've had landslides in Palos Verdes, and we have so many people talking about shoring by the beach, tsunamis and liquefaction, earthquakes, and then obviously, as I just touched on, landslides and unstable land from heavy rains of last year and what we might have during El Nino. Rick is a wealth of knowledge, an amazing guy, super interesting, USC Trojan, and he's going to give you guys all the amazing facts and findings around South Bay real estate, how it relates to engineering structurally, and what some of these landslides mean on the Palos Verdes Peninsula. We hope you'll join us. That'll come out next week. Rick Morales, you guys, I hope you're wrapping up a great end to your summer. Have a strong start to the school year. We're wishing you all the best, and we will see you next time on the Richard Haynes Real Estate Show. Take care.